There's
Abe.
Abe here.
Here. I didn't even see who it had me admit. Oh, there.
Oh, there's Roberta.
Roberta.
Hi, Roberta.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can
Oh,
you hear
great.
us?
Tell your hubby he succeeded.
You're excluded.
You're excused now?
Yeah.
As in gold.
You're excused, honey.
Code for hit the road.
That was great.
Well, if we can set it, slide in, or they will slide in. So I'd like to call this meeting to order. Are there any additions or changes to the agenda? No?
I don't know if I'm an addition or a change, I just have some feedback from the select board on the budget.
Oh,
So,
they didn't say much when I was there.
Well, there is, under
the
capital
capital.
improvements, the report on the select board meeting, do you want to jump in then, or do you want to just
Sure.
do it right now so that
Let's
you
do
can
it
go
right
home?
no, it's up to you. This is not the capital. plan.
This is the operating budget.
This is the
Why don't you do it, yeah.
That obviously could present.
You go ahead. You can go.
Go right
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah.
So you can go ahead. yeah.
I will let everybody know they have a copy of the budget in their packet,
Okay.
if you want to follow along.
Okay.
Because Roberta had some changes, so Roberta, do you wanna talk about that first?
There's Melissa, just check in.
Sure.
Because we made some corrections, right? There were a few changes that you made after the last meeting.
Meeting, yeah.
Yep, let me just find it. Hang on. Oh, gosh, I lost you. Hang on. Let me just get my copy of the budget. Okay,
There's a podium to see.
sorry.
Oh, there's
Thought I
yours.
had it right here. Okay. Bear with me. Sorry.
Okay.
My phone was recording everything she said. so.
Well, I had it open in my Excel file, so just give me a second. I had it open there a minute ago. Let me just find it again. Okay.
Well, I can, so I think the one that was presented had money in the investment revenue for the library under the operating,
Yep.
and that would actually go to your capital.
Yep. So basically the changes were, we changed interest revenue to be $500. And we
Mhm.
took out investment revenue, changed that to 0 because that just rolls into the CD balance. And then the other change that we made was under library computer managed services. I added in the, I think it was the $45 a month increase for Comcast.
Right.
So total revenues and expenses are 91,203.
Right.
And the
And
select board was just wondering why the $3,000 for the landscape
Mm.
expansion around the gazebo was not coming out of capital. Only because you're asking for 13.59% more from the taxpayers than last year.
I think,
Not from the taxpayers, so.
I would say 350 is not a capital amount. Probably why we didn't do it. I'm just
Well, it's
guessing.
not in the capital plan, so right, because it's under the 10,000.
Right. So it's not capital. But so maybe part of it was, we assumed it was operating. Yeah.
So it's
And
operating.
I think that's what, just because the capital is defined as 10,000 or greater. Now, if we would have said as part of the shed and all these pieces, and the total cost of the shed and landscaping and painting, and that would have been this, maybe that would have been something different, but it wasn't. It's almost not tied to, it's not the same because it's landscaping and I think more in general, isn't
I
it?
think that landscaping one is because if we get
The grant?
the grant that Tanya Retz had suggested that we might get, we would need,
Some matching.
we'd need a little bit more.
To maintain it.
Well, yeah, this would be maintaining new spaces
Yes.
outside. And so the work being done for it would be like donated to us. But then to maintain it, it would be that,
So that's ongoing operating costs for
So it was
maintaining new
still-
landscaping that hasn't yet been awarded as per grant.
Right.
Okay, so the actual installation of the landscaping is gonna be under a grant.
Yes, hopefully.
Well, it's just volunteered.
It's
It's,
just
it's not a
volunteer.
grant, but it
Okay.
would just be volunteer work through a landscaping organization.
And then this additional 3,000 is to maintain it once it's
Once
installed.
they have completed it.
Right.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that, and,
that's over and
and
above the
it's
existing.
possible that the master gardeners would do part of that, but they haven't, we haven't gotten them all together.
Yeah.
Enough to know.
Okay.
We've been missing half of them.
I would say, and I don't know this is true because I wasn't at the last meeting, but you know, as a board, we're pretty careful about. I mean, that's not a small amount of money to do landscape. That's not a small amount of money to maintain, and it's over and above what we already spend. So we would, I'm certain part of that would be being judicious about how we and what we did. But you have to put something in the budget that makes sense, and it's going to be at least, we think, reasonably covering it. And
Mhm.
again, part of it is because what Betsy said about needing some percentage, some participation in, I won't keep calling it a grant because apparently it isn't, but
Contributing to it.
contributing to
Mhm.
the project.
Right.
That helps.
Okay, yeah,
It just isn't capital. That was our.
it's
big
not
line.
capital, it's
not
not,
capital.
yeah, no, you're right, it's just maintaining it, which is operating.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That was
Is
it.
that it? Or
Is that okay, Roberta?
Yeah.
Mr.
Yep.
Tellis?
No, that was it. They were concerned about the increase and they were asked about the $3,000.
Good question.
And I guess I misunderstood. I didn't realize it was to maintain it and they wanted to know why it wasn't coming out of your capital fund. So
Because of their definition.
I'll go back.
Thank you.
Thank you. for-
Thank you. Have a good
Thank you,
evening.
Lisa.
Yeah, bye. So would you take a look at the minutes from the last meeting? And then I'll entertain a motion. I will. Okay, Ellen moves to approve it. Is there a second?
Somebody second, sorry.
No, Not yet.
I'll second.
Second
Yeah,
it?
sorry.
Is there any discussion about the minutes? No, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So moved. Could we have the financial report, please?
Okay. So the library capital balance is 105,370.
Pink at the top.
The CD, capital CD was 90,150.69 that matured October 20th and has been renewed for 2 months. Carolyn, I had to change this a little bit. I'm sorry. The
That's
interest
okay.
rate on the actual CD was different than what I thought they were going to do, but they're using 3.59 and they're going to have it mature on December 22nd. And we can talk a little bit more about that. The due from balance decreased this month from 21,000 down to 15,219. And that is due to the payment to Flooring 360. We made that payment of 59.45 in October. And we do get some interest on that. I checked with Lisa. I said, what's the rate we're getting on our due from checking account? She said 1.73%. While we're talking about the CD, you know, when we finish paying for the 5,945, you know, the balance of that, we're going to have only like $10,000 left in that. And if there's anything else coming up, that we're going to need, and the due from is more accessible, you know, it's not waiting for the CD to mature, but what I'm wondering is if we feel we're going to have something that's going to come up that we're going to need money more quickly, when we go to mature to roll the CD over in 2 months, we need to take that into account. We reduce the amount of that CD and put it into the due from. That's just something to think about. I don't think we need a decision today. The next renewal is December 22nd. I don't
Is the
know.
whole paid for at this point?
Did you hear, Roberta, did you hear Betsy?
No,
Is
I
the-
didn't. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Is the whole carpet paid for at this point?
Yeah.
It is, okay.
No, we just put down a
No,
50% deposit.
Yeah, 50%.
So
we Is still all need cash paid.
for that.
So we have another-
are we gonna talk about at some point doing a sign for the shed? I mean, these are small sort of nickel and dime things, but they do add up, so I'm
Yeah,
just
that's a
thinking
new
of-
business.
I know it's under new
Yeah.
business, but I'm just thinking
Yeah.
about that if you're starting to calculate what kind of costs we're gonna have that are on a, as I said, they're sort of nickel and dime, but they're there. If we decide we're
Well,
going to do a sign, it's gonna
unfortunate-
be X number of dollars. or whatever.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is capital only. Remember,
Oh,
they split it up and this is capital, so it has to meet that threshold of $10,000 to be considered capital. Unfortunately.
So that would be the second half of the carpet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Which, and when is that gonna be due?
I would assume they would bill us in January when the carpet's done. Yeah,
Okay. We'll need that.
Okay. The balance sheet is negative 2,995.48. The budget status report, library revenues. I'm sorry. I don't know what order you're looking at the reports in. My apologies.
That's
We're
okay.
following you, so you go ahead.
You're still
Okay,
on the
library
budget status
revenues
report?
are 20,487 or
The yellow
24%,
is on.
24% of budget. Library expenses are 34,706 or 42% of budget. Over budget variance continue to be due to summer seasonality of salaries and related benefits. Computer managed services due to the unbudgeted increase from Comcast. Lawn care is over budget due to the contractor having issues with their billing system. Year-to-date expense reflects an expense for May, which is prior to this fiscal year. Supplies, books, periodicals, videos, audio will trend down until spring when they'll start to pick up again. Grant expenses will be over budget for the entire remainder of the year. Offsetting revenue was received last fiscal year. I just want to put a note in here. Major projects in October reflect the $1,000 payment to Ken Bassett for refurbishment of the sign. So that's been paid.
Good.
Library building are 31%, or sorry, library building are 2,526 or 31% of budget. But just to note that that fluctuates because general insurance is paid on a quarterly basis. Warrants of 2,479.24 are for board approval. Unless
that the
there's more
warrant
there
folder?
that I don't know about.
Folder?
No, this is my
Oh.
folder.
Where's the warrant?
Do we have the warrant folder?
It's not that folder? Okay, we do not have the warrant folder.
Oh.
Do you want me to run down and see if Lisa's still here? Okay.
And that, any questions? That's all that I have. And I'll send out the minutes that Carolyn, I'll send out a new report of what I've done.
Okay,
So we're still trending, similar to last year in terms of our percentage of budget and where we are with all of that. There's nothing
Yeah.
that's standing out to you. Is there, Roberta? Is there anything you?
Not
Your
at this
notes.
point. And I'm still working with Lisa to get like this pivot table going. I had some difficulties getting the data in the format that I want, but I'm working on it, getting close, which actually helps me get a better idea of the seasonality as well. So I'll be able to trend. Last year, I can look back at last year at certain things and sort of narrow in like when to expect things. But Carolyn really has really good knowledge of that because if you ask her, she knows what's going on too. So. Any other questions?
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, were you waving or did you have a question?
No, I was waving to her.
She was waving. Okay. Librarian's report, please.
I will just say that y'all will have to go to the office to sign the warrants.
Right.
Since they're not here tonight, so,
No.
All right, so it's a pretty small librarian's report this month. Patronage has slowed down a little bit, but the book sale has still been busy. Somebody buys something, at least one person a day, which is great. And we brought in over $400 this month, so for a slow month, that's great for the book sale.
That's great.
Still weeding so that we have less to move next month when the carpet people come. a short list of upcoming programs for the month. I did fail to put in that we will be closed Thanksgiving and the day after Thanksgiving.
Right.
Um,
And November 11th?
and I was gonna ask about November 11th for Veterans Day. We don't typically close, but it also doesn't usually fall on a working day. And this time of year, it's hard for me to take a separate day off, to kind of counteract the holiday pay. So if we could, long story short, if we could close on
Make it a
Tuesday,
long
that would
weekend.
be fantastic.
The town's
I would
closed,
greatly
obviously.
appreciate it. The town is
I
closed.
just don't see
I need,
anybody or at least very many people.
have a
going
long
out
weekend,
anyway.
is what the boss is
Yeah.
telling you.
And I'll send out all the appropriate whatever so that folks know that we're closed.
So 11, 27, and 28. Is that right?
Yes,
Yes.
In the 11th, right?
And the 11th,
yeah,
November
11, yeah.
Veterans Day, which is
Yeah.
next Tuesday,
Um,
2 to 7.
I have a list of recent classes and workshops that I have been working on. The security training that we do, we are required to do through the town, but I figured I would just put it in there to make everyone aware that we do it. It's almost every month that like all of the town staff has to go through and either watch videos and or take quizzes.
What is,
Um,
can you explain what that is? I don't remember.
yeah, it's mostly cybersecurity training and we have to do it for, I think, for insurance,
Okay.
for our insurance
Everybody
coverage.
does it, yeah.
I also did some training for Biblio Plus, which is our new streaming service that we're offering. And I'm gonna start advertising that as well, cause that is set to go. If anyone wants to play around with it, it's pretty great. They have an interesting selection of movies and shows to watch.
Is it all video?
It's all digital.
Yeah.
Video to watch. Yeah, you watch it on your phone, you can put it on your computer.
And it's, you borrow it like a Libby, but it's video?
It's like Libby, but there's no limits, there's no wait lists.
Hmm.
And you just put in your library card like you would with Libby. But there's no wait times or limits, which
right
is
there.
great. And you can, you don't have to wait for things to be returned like Libby.
Yeah,
Um,
that's great.
so yeah, there's some interesting stuff on
Yeah.
that.
Cool.
And then just the Library Journal Day of Dialogue Conference is pretty much, like a day of listening to authors on panels or different topics that are librarian specific. And
The Coke as well.
oh yeah, and then a reminder about our coat drive
Right.
that, I
Oh.
mean, essentially can start tomorrow. And we'll
Tomorrow.
probably mid-December.
And I just want to say that when I walked into the library today, I was so impressed, Melissa, with the moving that you and Courtney and Carolyn
I forgot, I already forgot.
just changed things around. And it's so inviting and so open and beautiful in there.
I love
So
it.
I'm just gonna let
Well,
you check it out
yeah.
yourself. I'm not gonna say more.
That's
great.
Man,
It
did that
was-
feel good.
It was very simple, but
So
Powerful.
Caroline's idea, she came up with it. We all just
Oh,
said,
it was
"Hey, do it."
And in addition, creating the window, the front window
You
that
can see
said,
it.
adopt an
Mm.
author. Was such a nice focus. You walk in and you see that. It's just,
that's-
those
I
little
haven't-
touches are wonderful.
I miss it.
And so anything else about the librarian's report?
I don't think so, and I'll just kind of segue into the building report. Because Melissa, I forgot to ask if there was anything that you wanted me to add to this.
Um,
I don't think there's really anything.
no, you
showing
know
in
what?
Right now.
The only thing, I guess, oh, wow. We were supposed, now that we're talking about it, I forgot. The town, we were supposed to have people from the town come and do a bunch of stuff, but they were backed up.
Oh, well, I mean, they've done
Did-
some things. They helped me disconnect the hose, the
Oh.
outside hose, yesterday because I couldn't get it off so that it we don't freeze the faucet again like
Yeah,
we did
good
last
idea.
year.
Yeah.
And Tracy showed me like what to shut off and where to shut it off, and I can share that with you, Melissa, so you can put that in your notes. They came and mowed and mulched the leaves that are out and about. And then we also got our yellow safety strip painted in front of the bookshop step
Okay.
in. So the insurance people will like
I
that.
like that.
And
Are they taking down more trees?
not yet, the third tree was, needed to be, maybe wait until next year's budget cycle because of the cost.
Yeah.
So we're keeping an eye on it. Everybody's aware that it's okay enough for about a year.
Are we all parking in other places?
I know, right?
That might change.
You
Angie,
never know, right? This is about the water
Mm.
heater.
Yeah.
I know plumbers are. Yeah, how long have we been waiting for them to, do they give us a date? and they
About a
do
month.
it?
No, I haven't had a call back from this company, which is unusual, but I think I might call somebody else because it's been,
I would
yeah.
assume it's gonna get bigger. Is it leak, is it steady? or-
It's a fairly slow, like drip, maybe an hour. I don't know, like I'm
That's
not
okay,
down
that's
in the
all right,
basement, so I don't
I don't
know,
want
but
you to go
it's,
down there
it's
either.
fairly slow. It's
The
not
young-
cooling
the young
water.
guy- he's a young
Yeah.
Guy expecting a new baby.
Oh, I don't
Okay.
know.
So-
Maybe that's why.
It's in a wrench in the whole thing.
Yeah.
then,
But yeah, I can reach out to somebody
I'm
else.
just wondering.
Yeah,
Mine's
yeah,
not that any faster, so I.
yeah.
anything else about the building?
I don't
No?
think so.
Okay, how about capital improvements?
Oh, this is just our little blurb, reminding folks that we will be closed at the end of December for the carpets to come in. And no new updates from Tanya yet, about the outdoor refresh and meeting with the landscape architect.
Would that be a meeting that would happen in the winter?
Possibly,
Okay.
and like when I hear from Tanya, like I'll let, especially you and the master gardeners know, but I'll let everybody
Okay.
know that it's happening too, because I'm sure y'all will want to be part of it.
I can look this up. I'm sorry. Our current, do you know what our current annual cost is for landscaping that we pay to this contractor?
Well, it's
Is it,
$379 almost every month of the year.
okay,
No, I mean, I would say we probably don't pay it December through February.
okay.
So 4,000.
I was gonna say 4,000 times 10 months, but yeah, I was just, so I was just making, so, yes. So 4,000, and then we're gonna add another 3,000 on, I mean, I'm questioning the number, it feels funny to me that we have a $4,000 budget now and someone's gonna give us landscaping, but oh, by the way, it's gonna cost us an extra $3,000 to do it. And that probably was just a number that they threw out.
Yeah, we just, that's actually a number we just came up with.
Okay, good,
Yeah.
here,
But it is
that's out of
uncertain
proportion
that
significantly, yeah.
That's gonna significantly increase our budget costs every
Yeah.
year. I
Yeah.
mean, if in fact, we're gonna come up with $3,000 additional every
Right.
single.
We
year.
have no idea at this
Yeah,
point.
no,
but
that's good
they're
to
just
know.
Planning to do something around the gazebo. It won't be that.
It won't be that
If
much.
they're
And,
planning
yeah.
to do more hardscaping to tie all the outside spaces together, that won't be, that won't.
There will be,
When you say if they're planning,
Well, planning with.
I mean, I was gonna say.
with, yeah, if
we need
the
to
plan,
approve the
yeah, we
plan.
don't know what the
Okay,
plan
Okay,
is yet.
so we'll play down the
We just-
$3,000 with Tanya doesn't know that number, does she?
No,
Doesn't
yeah,
she?
no.
And,
Yeah,
I'm not, I trust her, but I'm just.
yeah, yeah.
That's a good idea.
you know, if it was gonna be a big project, it'd be another 3,000, we can always modify that. And that's actually why I went to the select board meeting to sort of explain that, and they hadn't.
No,
they didn't ask
nobody showed
About
up.
that at that
I
point.
heard, I mean, it wasn't very busy.
Mhm.
Okay.
ready.
So we have nothing in old business, but let's move into new business.
We're not gonna talk about this.
Well,
I don't see that on the
I
agenda.
don't know.
I didn't know if that was what the annual appeal was for.
No, because an annual.
'Cause that I
report-
feel was
annual
different.
report is
Okay.
different, so I didn't know. Can we make sure this is on the agenda?
Yeah, what, this,
Well, I mean, it has to be on the agenda tonight because it's due
Right.
in December.
what is due in September?
Oh, the town report. This is the
Oh,
annual
oh,
report.
this
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
the town report.
And it
Gotcha.
wasn't on the agenda.
I see.
And I saw the little box of what should go here, and I think we should put something in there about our landscaping, since people are gonna see that
Mm,
or notice that there's
Right.
additional expenses and,
Mm. What I just heard though is that that was just a number that we really have internal to us
you
only.
get that.
Okay,
But I'm still wondering if we should put something in there. I'm not sure we should come up with real numbers, but maybe we should talk about the fact that we're planning some. I don't know.
So do you want to put that under new business, town report?
Oh, I thought we were talking about it now. Okay,
No.
whatever.
No, we can talk about it now. I just
So we
wanted
used
to.
to talk about it.
Well,
Because you said it's due in December. Can we talk about it even though it isn't on the agenda?
Sure.
Sure, that could be an additional
Yeah.
agenda item. I'll go back to the additional agenda items and add it.
Yep.
so I'll look in the capital and capital plan for the town in 20, this is where I get confused with the years
yeah,
here.
same.
Not this year that we're currently in, but the year that starts in,
26, 27. maybe?
26, 27.
yes, 26, 27 year. That's when we have the $20,000, I believe, or the 27, 28. Anyway, it's, the next thing is the front entrance way.
Yeah,
So I think that's next, and then 27, 28 is the, it might be the same year.
we have it in the same year
Okay, same year.
because
Seems very generic.
So that's what I was thinking. We shouldn't go too far in any direction until we decide. I mean, it's our time this next year to plan what we really mean by that $20,000 ask in the capital
That's
budget.
gonna be our
Well,
discussion of what we're planning, and 29 was gonna be implementation. Or, or 27.
27 was gonna
28.
be discussion and 28 was
28
gonna
would
be
be-
implementation.
Just wondering if we wanted to put something generic in there that we are planning in the future to be addressing some, external, some.
Like we'd like to do a better job of creating an environment around
Something,
around
yeah.
our library. It's
So-
welcoming and useful for our patrons. or
Exactly.
something.
so that would go right
That
here.
would go in.
Yeah.
Should go here.
Yeah.
Kinda generic,
something
like that.
Very generic, but just so that we're kind of planting the seed that
Right.
there's some.
Pun intended.
That was good.
Do you know what I mean? Just
Yeah,
because
I got
I
it.
think we need,
Yeah, no
something
numbers,
there
no numbers, no dollars.
well,
About the what should.
yeah,
go
and it
here.
can be
Well, I think
something
so.
like, stay tuned for new outdoor
Yeah.
improvements or whatever.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for I don't know,
Oh,
changes
sure,
or
I mean, the
whatever.
title Can just be outdoor improvements. and
Yeah,
say
I like
that over the
improvements
next.
better than changes.
Yeah, outdoor
Yeah.
improvements over the next few years, the library plans to enhance the outside space. To bring
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, we'd like to enhance the outside space.
Just enhance. the outdoor-
Because they're gonna vote on this,
Yeah.
remember, in
Yeah.
March of 26.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Right, so that's why I wanna start getting
Yeah,
that out
that's a good
there,
idea.
that we're doing something.
that's a good point.
No.
well, it would help me if whoever wants to like email suggestions of what can go in that box
To wordsmith it a
to,
little bit.
yeah, that would
That's the
help
wordsmith.
tremendously. And we have until the 23rd of
Thank you.
December to do this, but
Thank you.
Good suggestion there, Helen.
sooner would be better.
Get off the list.
Sooner would be better.
Just hanging
I
out
don't
there.
know
get
if
it.
I'm gonna be the one, I mean, we'll all, I.
Yeah.
We can brainstorm on it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
Well, the only concrete thing that I've heard was that Tanya was thinking about improving the space around the gazebo. And we
Mhm.
don't know too much else at this point.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I wouldn't even get that specific. I would
Yeah.
just say that we're thinking, that over the next few years, we're planning outdoor enhancements to
Mm.
make it a cooler place to be, figure that out.
Okay.
Whatever the word.
We'll
is
figure it
now.
out.
Yeah, we will.
What is
We
the
can
word?
submit some of those things to you.
Well,
and
I think-
we'll-
I think as you come into North Hero, it's really important because that is really the first building you see
Good point.
when you
Yeah.
come into
Well
North
done.
Hero is the library.
it's the welcome
And-
into the village.
Yeah.
Exactly. A lot of towns have these big signs, but our library is the first thing that I see when I come in to the village, I should say.
Right.
And now our sign looks terrific.
It
but
does.
we'll
It
add
does. It does.
to the aesthetics.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, so let's have a discussion about asking Penny to do a sign for the library book sale and possibly plaques for recognition of the library contributions.
Have we decided that we're calling it the book shop,
I don't know.
Old English shop?
Not officially.
So
Hmm.
this is my 2 cents. So that surprised me. talk periodically about having a more detailed discussion about how we roll out naming of things related to some capital campaign, or not big or small.
Yeah,
But so the first time we name something, we really need to be sure that we kind of follow that providence going forward. So when I saw this, I went, uh-oh, because and I also have this is my own bias, so
yeah,
forgive me.
yeah.
Sometimes when you drove up to the library, you see a whole bunch of stuff, and you guys did a beautiful job of just making that aesthetically better, right? It does. But still, we have to be really careful. Otherwise, too many things, and this is my opinion, just start to clutter up the front of a very beautiful building. So where we put things and how we say them and when we put them up. I mean, I like the book sale sign and the plastic thing. I mean, that's just.
It's
book-
good for now, so people know where
That's
they're
right,
going.
That's right. But I'm teasing
Yeah,
about
are
that,
you
but
talking about, so you're talking, I mean, I always sort of envisioned it was just gonna be a long horizontal sign over the door of the book building, calling it whatever it's called, the bookshop or the book.
we don't know what that's gonna be yet.
Or whatever,
I
we
think.
don't know what that's gonna be, but we're not putting out. Are we talking also about an additional sign out on the road, or are we talking about just a sign to go on the top
I
of
don't
the
know.
building?
That's what I
with the
thought
door?
Linda had wanted, what was, I wasn't sure what this meant, and my question to her, what did it mean on the agenda when it came up? As I read the email, I thought, do a sign for the library book sale and possibly plaques for the recognition of library contributions. I thought it was about getting rid of the marquee sign, but
Of
that
the
was just
one
my,
out on the
that was
road.
just my interpretation of what
Oh,
the email
one
said.
that we-
Oh, the metal one?
The red, the
Yeah.
white
But-
one or what?
Yeah.
That was just the
Mhm.
interpretation of an email that was sent, so I don't really
Well,
know.
either if we do that, I still think we need something over the door of that building to say
Right.
whatever it's called.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm personally not into the old thing.
I just wanted, my caution was just about making too many decisions about where signs go
Right.
outside until there's more discussion about the how it looks, the landscaping.
Maybe we don't put an exterior sign out on the road until we build that into our whole plan, and maybe
see.
we just put a sign over the door for now, so that people.
Yeah.
Until then.
Use the
It is,
plastic,
it is
yeah.
important, isn't it, for
Yeah.
people to know
there's
that
a
we have the
book
book
sale.
sale?
Yeah.
By seeing that right
Yeah.
as they're
Yeah.
driving by? Yeah.
Right, but we could keep that
Right,
and
that-
just have something over the door, so
Right.
people at least know where the sale is,
Yeah,
as
that's
a-
opposed to
yeah.
building another real sign up. I worry about, in fact, this is something that I was thinking about after I was looking at Kenny's sign, which I think is beautiful, but I'm wondering if we missed the boat on putting
Oh, right there.
something on his sign, and I'm wondering whether below,
Okay, yeah.
below or something, so that
Yeah, I
so that
like
we
that
don't
idea.
have this extra plastic thing out. Other
Is that-
sign.
Well, I mean, it would
It
be,
wa-
but he had a good point
It
that
was
it's
there, we had hours. there.
like, yeah, the hours had been there, and granted, they were in pretty small text, which I think lots of folks said, if you're gonna, unless you stop on the road, you won't be able to read
Right.
the smaller print that's underneath. That being said, if there's something in larger print, it might be better.
I wouldn't even put the hours on.
But-
I would
well,
just
no,
hang
just to
something
say
that
book
says
sale.
book
Yeah,
sale,
It's
yeah.
where it's book sale.
And then we can have a little sign next to the door of the book building that shows what the hours are.
Right.
Well, the hours they'll get when they drive in because.
Yeah, they don't, the hours are the same as the
There
library.
you go.
Yeah, like,
So. Angie, when you're talking about the procedure or the protocol or whatever for naming something. Tell us more about that.
With Helen's help, I will do that.
Okay.
When we had two major donors over the past few years, and if we determine, so have we had a discussion or determined if any part of those dollars or any recognition from their contribution should be part of a naming consideration for the shed? Go ahead.
Have they have they attached their dollars to a naming?
No.
So I would, unless the donor
Unless there
tells
was
you that I'm gonna give you $25 million for your children's hospital, but now it's gonna be called whatever the guy's name was who just gave $25 million to Children's Hospital. Unless they do that, I think what we could do is come up with, this is what's frequently done in fundraising, you come up with tiers of donations. So you know, if you're talking about the $35,000 donation, for example, that's like a platinum contributor, and then you know, if you have someone who's given you $10,000, that's your
Right.
gold or silver, I mean, and so.
This is what you
would
get
just
for
put their
every-
name,
this is what you
you
get
would
for
just
every-
have a plaque with different tiers of giving and leave room so that you could add
Yes.
people's names under those different tiers of giving.
So I think I think that's exactly right. Thank you. As well, well said as usual. I think that, but I was worried, I thought I heard in prior conversations through the years that there was one person that maybe thought they were not giving the money for a book, but there was some physical improvement to the library. And I guess the two individuals
We
that gave,
talked about that,
Yeah.
and did she actually say she wanted that?
No.
okay,
No.
that's good. So, but back to so the next thing that if you're following your lead, some designation of what happens when someone writes a check for $5,000 to the library. Is that an entry to anything? Is that an entry to a name on a plaque? Is it a book, you know, a brass book plate somewhere? I mean, I
I
don't.
think it depends on how many kind of donations we think we're gonna be
So I
getting.
think it's gonna be a longer conversation. That's where my
Probably so.
separate conversation.
And that might be something inside the library,
Right.
right?
yeah,
Yes,
Rather than on
exactly.
the,
Right.
It would go,
the
it- right.
inside the
Oh, yeah,
library.
it would
and-
Exactly.
on the Wall. or
Even little
something.
brass.
Yeah. and I
brass
think that'd be
name-
good.
name
It
tags.
encourages people to
Yeah.
give money.
Yeah.
And
to
we
the
need to
library.
decide what those tiers would be, and
Yeah.
what we would call them, maybe we
Yes.
don't call them platinum, maybe we call them something that's more booky.
Bookie.
And I think that could be all like determined with the annual appeal stuff. Because then you could advertise it to people saying, if you give X amount of dollars, you'll get this thing
Right,
when you give to us.
and we
So,
haven't even really
yeah.
designed that annual.
Yeah,
report yet,
yeah.
So that's a whole nother.
That's my,
that's a
that was my
whole
only
nother-
comment
And-
about this. We're
Okay,
not
so
ready.
it's like this will be an ongoing discussion and
And if we want to make it really controversial, we could have Shakespeare level and we could go.
It's a really
The
deep
dead
Shakespeare is
point
better
plan,
than.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I
That's
do
what I said.
think, but to
You
that.
can do like Toni Morrison and.
Yeah.
like-
Get back
Say
to
versus
the other
Monroe.
thing.
I love that, yeah.
Could have- Don't, we could go down that rabbit hole, but I still think that we need to decide soon. What this book shed is gonna be called.
do
and
too.
get
Yeah, sure.
assigned.
Whatever you
My
want.
personal
Even
thing
just-
is
yeah.
stop with a PPE on it, really doesn't float my boat, I just think that's clear.
Well, and it's important just in working there, because like the people who were in there today, I
Yeah.
was telling them about the book. It's like the book sale, the
Yeah,
book,
yeah.
what, you know,
Yeah.
What is it?
book shed was one.
I think
Mm.
book barn is what I.
I like that.
Book barn is so alliterative.
And it's also used at various places in Vermont where they have book sales. They say book barn.
So is that too redundant? Is
No.
that too confusing?
We are an agricultural community of sorts.
Kind of like book barn.
Hmm.
We can think about it. Why don't we come up with some ideas and then.
I'm good with
figure it out.
anything you all choose.
What would you say?
Anything you choose. I think they're all good. Whatever you choose will be good. Having a name is important. That's what I think.
I think having a name is important, and getting
Yeah.
Penny to work on a sign, getting a sign up there soon is important,
it's a cool
because
building.
even if they don't
Mm.
see, or we're not overwhelmed by the little plastic marquee on the road when they drive in and they see the shed with the.
Melissa.
I have it, I don't know if you guys agree, but I don't know, how about putting it out to the community, like asking
Mm.
people to like, I don't know, making it fun, like,
I was
Name this
thinking that
shed.
too, Melissa.
$10 name.
right, submit
There's
names.
there's buy-in and ownership and marketing, you know, like you're letting people know that it even exists.
You
Yeah,
could go down a real rabbit hole.
Yeah, you could, and then people might
I'm
be
a
mad that
little
theirs wasn't
nervous
picked.
about that. I,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't like that one that they picked.
I did have
That's
one
bad.
kind of
I
threat
kinda-
once and I'll never do
yeah.
it again.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
kind of not going up that road. Because
So-
somebody will come up with a name and then say, oh, they picked so-and-so's name, of course. Or-
Yeah.
I mean, it just opens the door to people to complain to me.
like,
Could we,
and
could
that's
we have,
anonymous, it doesn't necessarily have to be.
right, we have, in the
Yeah.
past, we've had like a box.
Yeah,
in the
that's what-
library
yeah.
For suggestion box or something, or in, on the bullet, on the,
Yeah, it's not
Blackboard
public,
said
it's not
that.
like people just, yeah. Anyway, just-
right, just the people who come in who maybe would want to, huh?
I'm
I
just
like
kinda
that
curious
idea.
How many different names you're gonna Yeah.
Yeah, I like the idea of putting it out there. It
It's
doesn't mean that,
anonymous, I guess.
yeah, nobody's gonna know whose name you picked.
Yeah, we don't, yeah, I wouldn't.
Oh, it's a small town.
Yeah,
But should we have it in a box where you can just drop in a
Drop in
suggestion?
a suggestion.
Sure, if you use it or not, yeah.
Carolyn, what is that, what's the
Yes.
frequency of somebody actually doing that? You've
At
been
this
there
time of
before
year?
when we. Remember when we did our,
Yes, just,
yeah, what was it we did? That,
Oh, the book suggestion box?
yeah, that didn't
That
really.
didn't get a lot of traction, but other things have,
I'm just
like,
wondering how long we're gonna put this box out there and how long we're gonna wait to name this thing and get a sign.
Well,
That's
if we
the-
just give it a time, we'll just
Let's
say
just do
we're.
it.
I think we should just find a name and get her done.
also though, with the
Whatever.
cold weather coming, I don't know what Kenny would be able to install. Based on like the sign that he did for the street. I mean, that's like decals, so I don't know.
Well,
He
you
can
have
do
to-
it in, he can do it in.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
That's true. That's true.
So I'm not
Sorry,
concerned about
sorry.
that. I just, if we're gonna put a suggestion box out for how long and how many
Yeah.
people are gonna come through in the hall between Thanksgiving and Christmas, if there's only 4, then.
is it safe to say that we have maybe 3 ideas right now, not the bookshop with the PPE? Not the PPE.
Unless people were.
It's just
like
bookshop,
the old
Right.
a
shop.
bookshop, book barn, book shed, bookstore,
Man, not bookstore.
not
Or just
bookstore,
book
no.
sale.
book sale,
Book,
book
books,
shed,
books.
book barn, bookshop.
How about book bargains?
There.
Book bargains.
I don't know.
Bargain books.
Book
Bargain
bargains.
book.
But not in
Bargain,
the basement door.
I don't know.
Book barn.
I like.
I hear book barn more than once, so.
I like Book Barn because it
Yeah.
keeps it generic enough so that over time you can do other things in there if you want to, and it's still associated with the library. I mean, it just.
Yeah, and
gives
it
you-
also is a separate building like barns are.
Yeah.
They're separate from the house. Yeah,
I make a motion that we proceed with the name of Book Barn for our new,
And we're not gonna spell
Book.
it BARNE, right?
Barney.
Barney.
Do we have a second? Do we have any discussion?
Melissa, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to shut down your idea. I think it's a great idea. but
It's
that's
okay,
something
don't
to do in
worry.
the Summertime when you've got a ton of people around and
okay.
there's all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah, we had like 4 people in there
So
too.
we've got
Such
a year for this.
So there is a motion on the floor. There's no discussion. All those in favor of calling it the Book Barn, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? We have a name.
Okay, so we
What
have
do you
to ask
think,
Kenny if he wants to do that.
Ask Kenny, do we have a budget for Kenny sign? It'll be a small
It's
sign.
operating
just
cost of-
going
Yeah,
to
wow.
Open the door.
it's operating costs.
Yeah,
It's gonna come out of our operating budget, so something's gonna
Yeah.
have to give.
well, I mean.
I'm just
like,
making it up.
I mean, maybe I'll.
Just-
Do we have
donate
money for
it. I
that
mean,
for
we're
River?
just talking
I
about.
I
a
was just being
rectangular sign,
obnoxious. Yeah,
5 feet long and probably a foot high.
just because you made the
We've
point
got-
about capital with the other one, I just wanna be, we have to be clear about it. That's fine.
Yeah, we have money in major projects, so, we've got a budget of 4,500 and we've spent 1,100 and we don't have anything else planned for that, so
Okay,
that's.
So
that's
You
where
got
we
enough for
reduce
Book
it.
Barn?
where do we go from here? Is somebody going to contact Kenny and ask him if he will make the sign?
Sure. That is a then.
Okay, and what did you do last time? Did he give an estimate of how much it would cost, or how did you do that for the?
Yeah,
the
He
sign?
did a brief
That's-
design, like a
Oh,
brief
okay,
drawing
brief
and gave
design.
us an estimate.
Helen, I'm wondering,
Are you okay with
would
that,
that be
Carolyn?
better for
Yeah.
Caroline to do, just for,
Sure. I mean,
to
Fine with me.
Yeah,
contact
that's
Kenny
fine.
for that?
okay.
Okay, so,
But not. for the long term, we
discussion
can-
of the 25, 26
Yeah.
goals.
Oh,
Carolyn,
I haven't introduced it. Is that okay, Caroline?
oh, yeah, and it's at the back of
Your
the packet
evaluation.
that starts with my evaluation.
I'm sorry, can I clarify one thing that's
Yes.
still on there? Should we, so we're gonna defer this plaque discussion. Kick that down to the next time?
Maybe we need to create a ad hoc development committee to kind of come up with some ideas about what an annual appeal letter might say and what some of these tiers might be and
Right.
that.
That's
because
We have
Okay.
something to discuss.
Okay,
That's great.
so we'll
I mean,
do that as part of the annual appeal. I think.
I
Okay,
think that sounds like
need
we should
someone to-
come up with some
You need
suggestions.
someone to come in with a straw man almost or something to
got
start.
it. Okay,
Recommendation from someone that knows what they're
Okay,
telling.
I heard that.
Okay, so, thank we'll get better at this. I mean, as a board, not Caroline's fine, as we go forward. When we set goals as an organization, the goals are typically set by the leadership, whether it's the board or an executive team or wherever it lands. For us, it's us.
Mhm.
And those goals are really driven from the strategic plan that we might have and what we want to accomplish in the years going forward. So my request for future agenda items will be for us to have that on the agenda, at least starting in January. We start talking about what do we want to accomplish in the next year from a strategic perspective. It doesn't have to be like big overarching, we're going to build a new building, but strategically, what do you want to focus on?
Mhm.
And that helps us focus and Caroline focus on where she should put her time and effort for the
And
most part,
dollars.
and dollars.
Mm.
So strategic goals are set up really in three, there's three pieces to each goal. One is the goal itself, and a goal and then behind the goal is the objective. Like, here's the overarching goal. What is that goal trying to achieve? And then what are the tactics that each individual department does to achieve that goal? So an example, I'll use it from healthcare because it's in the organization says we want to achieve national ranking as a top-tier hospital in patient satisfaction. The objective is that we want all of our patients to give us a 5-star rating when they leave our facility and receive a survey. We want to be in that 5-star category. The tactic might be for an individual department, like an ER. The physicians will say, we will have a door to disposition time of 2 hours. So by the time a patient walks into our emergency department, it'll be no more than 2 hours for every patient till they have a decision, are they going to be admitted or are they discharged with instructions? So that's sort of the tiering that happens. And we didn't do that quite that level of detail this time because one of the most important things for any goal is that it's measurable, and it's easily measurable.
Mhm.
You don't want anything that's too arbitrary, even as beautiful as it might sound. So we took what we'd heard from the board in our discussion about what are the things that we wanted to focus on and for this next year and put them into a series of what I believe are easily understandable and measurable goals and meet the requirements that the board set forward for some of the things that they wanted to see Caroline work on this year. Is that fair,
Mhm.
Caroline?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go actually to the goals themselves. We put them in there, and there are usually 3 or 4 major categories of goals: financial performance, operating performance, growth and development. And sometimes there are things like personal achievement, or if happens to be a fundraising arm or something like that. But we focus on 3: financial performance, operating performance, and growth and development. On financial performance, and this is the last page of Caroline's
Mhm.
evaluation.
That's.
We have as a first, I'll call it goals. First, the goal is financial performance. The objective is to meet the 2025 operating budget, focusing on traditional expenses, not allocated expenses. So we can't control what they're going to charge us for FICA or water or electricity, but the operating expenses. The second one is to improve book sales and donations to exceed the prior year's budgeted level. That's probably but so those are easily measurable. Either we did it or we didn't. And there are you make it 80%, and that's also something you can measure. May not be 100% every time, but you can measure it. Second goal is operational performance, and we focused here really on the relationship with the Friends of the Library.
Mhm.
One is, prior to the plan sale, invite the Friends of the Library to meet and greet an introduction of the library's strategic goals going forward. So by May, we need to have some idea, the board does, of what our strategic goals are going forward.
When was the last time we reviewed our strategic plan?
when it ended about 5 years ago, I
I
think.
think we really need to circle back around to our.
Dust it
strategic
off.
plan
Yeah.
Sooner than later.
Yeah, and it was pretty high, you know, and you do those big plans, as you know, like every so
Yeah.
often.
Which is fine, but they tend to
Yeah.
be dynamic because
Yeah.
there's always assumptions that are made, and I
Yeah.
think you need to
Yeah.
come back and look at them and see, are we still, is this still the direction we want to go in, given our current?
Right, well,
world
I
and
agree, I
climate
think we
and
need to
et cetera, et
start
cetera,
kind
et
of,
cetera.
that was a different era almost.
Can we talk about
Mm.
that in January? Can we circle back and look at the strategic plan in January? I mean, I think if we're gonna be talking about, especially as we move forward using this model.
Yep.
In goals and performance and Friends of the Library. You know, you have a big 50,000 foot strategic plan, but every year you've got to identify.
You
those
need pieces,
actions,
that's right, that's what this is
those
about.
action, which is
And-
exactly
and-
what you're doing, but.
And no, but I
Came
think,
together.
but we need to do it as a board,
Yes.
so this is really, well, this is Caroline's to carry out, and this particular tactic.
Yes.
It's really ours to set, because we're the
Exactly.
ones saying, here's what we want to accomplish in the next year, or, you know,
Exactly.
2. And
Here-
talk to the friends.
Here's an aside though, we don't normally have a meeting in January. So maybe February, or do we want to have a special meeting?
Well, if we're gonna be talking in May, if we're gonna be. I just feel very strongly that we need to really understand as a board, the strategic plan. And make sure that it's still appropriate. And determine whether or not it needs to be massaged. So that we can not only give Carolyn better guidance so that she can be more successful in achieving what our expectations of her are. But so that we can also coordinate with the friends better so that they understand what our long-term and short-term, what our long-term plan is and our short-term strategies. I just feel like we gotta we gotta start
Yeah.
circling back on that.
Yeah, the architects of that plan are really, they're obviously no longer on the board, so
They are,
they're gone.
huh?
Yeah.
They're gone. The architects of that original plan are no
Linda,
longer.
Linda's
Linda,
still on.
Linda.
Linda's still.
I think we ought to, I don't know, I mean, maybe.
long time
we
ago to
can
have a
talk
plan.
about it at the December meeting. I don't know how busy our agenda at the December meeting is, but, I just think at the very least in December, we ought to all have a copy of the plan.
Yeah.
And at least review it so that. we
Yeah,
can make some-
yeah,
That's a good.
That's a good
point.
I
idea.
think we
So
should-
you want to do that in
Hold that.
December?
Yes,
We should dust it off.
make that gonna be the.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt your. whole-
No, I think it's
but
really
just-
important, because that was kind of
Maybe
my,
fair.
I didn't want to dwell on it too much in the beginning, but it's really our job to do this first before
It
we.
is.
We did a little bit.
So that
We
can be
told
sure
Carol,
she's
we
successful.
extracted from the
Right.
evaluation what we thought.
Right.
It was
So
fun.
I apologize for the.
No, I think it's perfect. Thank you very much.
But
And then the second part of that is just develop a schedule for checking with the Friends of the Library and the board to make sure that we are in sync. And the third is growth and development. And we wanted to focus here on 2 things. One is develop an evaluation process and goal setting for the assistant librarian, including her own creation of measurable goals. And secondly, begin to work on it. This was your brilliant idea. Standard operating procedures of library operations. And I was trying to make this, Caroline wanted to do the whole thing, of course, to probably get it done. But I tried to limit it to say, let's, in this 6 or 7 months or left, focus on a table of contents. If you get further than that, great, we just exceeded it. But the table of contents, so we all know, much like you did the board book,
Mm.
right? So that's it for this year. We wanted to make it pretty simple, pretty
Mhm.
straightforward,
Yeah.
easily measurable. Any suggestions?
is this
And
different
Caroline,
from your binder that tells you how to do everything at the library? This.
Yeah, well, yeah, because the desk book is just pretty much for, yeah,
Oh.
like cataloging, and it's not all
So this is
the
all
day-to-day
your
stuff, yeah.
backroom Stuff, good.
Like,
Gotcha.
and really I got the idea because, like, what if I break my leg or get hit by a bus, then, how do you know how to pay bills or,
Yeah,
bring
we
in
don't.
performers or whatever,
Talk
yeah.
to the
Right.
interlibrary
Yeah,
staff.
exactly.
Something we all should have at home, a standard operating.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
So-
just a practical question.
good.
Carolyn, you have a copy of the strategic plan that we can,
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, and I
have
can
one too.
email that to everybody,
Okay.
like maybe not this week, but next week.
okay.
When you get
So-
back from
Good.
the weekend,
Thanks.
Yeah,
a long good weekend.
Yeah.
And that will be a major agenda item in December. That's what we decided.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Mhm.
Even
I'd
if
block
people
them.
aren't, even if we're not ready to change it, we should at least start talking about it,
Yeah.
you know, it's not gonna all happen.
That's an easily a single discussion. That's a big discussion.
Yeah.
Okay, the next agenda item for new business is the annual appeal.
Have we ever done an annual appeal letter?
Not since I've been here.
No, not that I can remember.
I mean,
Well,
I've gotten
We've been
a couple have gone out already, obviously, the, the firemen and the EM.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
annual appeal letters.
Hmm.
You know, they don't bring in a ton of money, but they at least show up on people's you know, at least it's something to put on people's radar. And in a perfect world, you'd send out 3 letters between now and December 31st.
Mm.
Send out now a letter to just sort of talk about, yeah, this is support your local library, and then another one after Thanksgiving or in the first week or 2 of December, because that's historically when most people start paying attention to this. And then one like that comes out right after Christmas before December 31st, since December 31st is the deadline for a tax deduction on your thing. So
Mhm.
I'm not saying that we're gonna come up with 3 letters, but.
I mean, I think
but
even
in a
one
perfect
letter,
world, even one
yeah,
would be a good
yeah,
start.
Glendale Rescue did one, Food Shelf did one.
yeah, Cider did theirs first, then the food shelf
Food
did
shelf.
one.
And the
after,
fire department.
And then the fire department.
Yeah,
I would wait and mail ours after Thanksgiving, but I think we should
it's a good idea.
think about one.
Yep.
And we've got mailing addresses and or email addresses of all of our patrons. So I would send it directly. I would do a direct mail to all of our patrons, and then I would publish it in the Front Porch Forum or something.
What about in the newsletter? Would it make? should it-
Yeah, we can do it in the newsletter too. Would it make more sense to just send it to the town? That's what we did when we were doing our strategic planning,
Because that's a,
and to use the direct mail.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, sure.
that might be,
it'll get a broader sweep.
yeah, yeah.
Will they do mail merges and stuff? Can we do it
I don't know what
here
that
and they
is.
can personalize it and do a mail merge? You know?
Oh, like, so it says like Dear John and Dear Susie and
Yeah.
This has been an awesome year for the
Oh,
library. Let me tell you.
the
about what
post
we've
office
done.
won't
I
do
don't think
that.
so, no.
No, it would have to, if we do it that way, it would have to be like
Specialty.
dear resident or, you know, yeah, to whom it may concern or whatever we would say,
Yeah,
but.
How many people get the newsletter?
I do.
I do.
I see 2 of
I
them.
do, I get it
3.
twice, because
I think about 200.
About 200.
I think it's
Okay.
maybe 260-ish.
Could we start?
But we have 600 and something patrons, don't we?
I know, but not everybody signs up for the newsletter.
Well, but I think everybody should get an annual appeal letter. I mean,
Right.
I'd be in favor of just sending it to everybody.
I think so too. I think you just send it to everyone.
Yeah, I mean,
Everyone-
$20 is $20.
Insert envelopes so that they can put a check
No,
in
it's
and
true.
return. Okay,
Mm.
But I think, you know, you just sort of write a generic letter of, this is what the library's been doing, and this is what we're hoping to do next year, and your contribution will help us create this beautiful outdoor space, or will help us.
I can say with less funding because of
Say what?
Is it what?
because of the farts in Washington. We've lost.
Well, yeah, we can say, you know, federal, that our state and federal grant money has been reduced and, you know.
so then do people pay, how do people pay if we don't have an insert? Do you just have a PayPal or a?
Or a Venmo, or just, they can mail their check today to,
With the address of their, okay.
I mean, you can do an insert, but it's a pretty
Mhm.
expensive
Yeah.
to come up with that. And, I don't know.
But did the food shelf have an insert? I can't remember.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We would have to find a printer too,
Mm.
for somebody like to make those for us,
Mhm.
because I can't make those. I can't print
Yeah.
envelopes,
Yeah, well, we could skip the envelopes. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah,
they,
we'll
they're,
get better as time next year. We'll do.
but next year we could have the envelopes.
Try to try.
I mean, honestly, we could make this a postcard.
Particularly, there's no extra envelope.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
I mean, yeah, if we're not gonna be putting in an enclosure,
right,
you could make it just a nice postcard with a nice photo of the library and the new sign and stuff on the front, and then just some nice, I mean, it doesn't have to be a big wordy thing.
Mhm.
Mm.
And that's something I can do, and we can get that printed through Canva. We did that with the Life in the Islands project. We
With
printed
the-
out
Yes.
postcards for them,
yep,
for that, yeah.
I mean, it would have to be a very short and sweet
Mhm.
text. And that's the downside is that, it's nice in an annual appeal letter to say, wow, look at what we've done this year. This has really been a good year for us. We've accomplished X, Y, and Z. This is what we're gonna do next year, and you could really help.
Check
us.
your town report for what we've done.
Yeah,
Well, so maybe a
Think about it,
postcard
think
isn't
about it.
a thing, maybe just a trifold that you can staple.
I think postcards still would be fine. I don't think people, you have to look at it if
Yeah.
it's a
Mhm.
postcard.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're opening this up and getting it out of the envelope and then it sits there with something.
Even if we use the picture side of the postcard to write out all of, we are serving children and whatever.
Mm.
Even if we use that side with some infographics, we'd
Yeah.
have that much more
Like
space.
we could superimpose certain things on top of a photo of the
Yeah,
side of the library or something.
yeah.
I mean,
Do like a watermark type situation. Yeah,
Mhm.
like,
yeah.
yeah, so we have, I think, enough real estate on the postcard. But
I mean, I
It's a
don't
matter of
expect to
what
get
we
a ton
say.
of money from it this time around, but I'd like to get people used to getting it. I'm used to
Mhm.
getting my food shelf one and my
Mhm.
fire department one every
Mhm.
year.
Yeah.
I want people to start getting used to getting something from the library every year.
right,
And the Venmo ones are so easy.
Venmo makes it
And
easy.
Venmo makes it, do we have
Well,
that?
with PayPal.
Do you think a
Should I-
postcard is as effective as getting the letter with the envelope? I mean,
Maybe
we could
not.
do the-
Maybe not.
Yeah,
Well, I just remember for the food shelf, we printed all of those. And then I signed every one.
yeah,
We
that's
had
always, that's
third,
very effective.
300.
That's a lot, yeah,
What
yeah.
did that cost you?
Oh, that part I don't know.
Well, so, I mean, that's a Roberta question is, again,
Next year, do it next year.
what kind of money do we have to put into a project? like
But I
this?
will just. If we're gonna spend that money, we're behind by a couple of months in doing it.
I know.
And I guess I would go back to your first comment, which I think was really good. Just get something out there this year, get them used to it, and then we can build on that next year.
Yeah, because I really think we need to come up with a whole development strategy.
Otherwise,
We're
we're gonna spend the same amount of money and we'll only send it out one letter.
I just don't know if the postcard's gonna be as effective as a letter, especially with somebody signing it. That's
Mhm.
always effective.
When you see the ink and you see the
See the
person's
ink,
name
yeah.
and if you know the person, at least you'd like, oh, it's
Well,
more personal.
Here's another thing we do. We have a postcard that has the watermark sort of the library and a couple of, pow things we're doing. And then we handwrite certain little, how we wrote all those campaign
Yeah.
postcards?
Yeah.
And they had 3 or 4 little sentences on them.
2,000.
Yeah.
And we all, we've got, what, 600 of
Divided
these
it,
things have
yeah.
to do, we divide and conquer.
Yeah, if we all just took a bunch.
Personal postcards that are personally written and addressed.
For the
Thank you
food
so
shelf, we
much.
all addressed them personally. We
Yeah.
just took them,
Yeah.
like, I took huge stack, other people, and you write,
Right, and
you
Yeah.
address it
I
and
like that
signed it.
idea.
300, how many do you get out of the town? There's gotta be a couple thousand names or when you.
Oh, like, no, the town is like
Oh.
1,000
Yeah.
people,
Most.
but
a lot.
but also our patrons aren't necessarily residents of North Hero. So we would have to,
With
Well, I
thousands.
I mean, we can still send them to.
With our patrons.
Yeah.
Here, start with patrons, then we can develop this.
Okay.
we can also put something in the front porch forum just for people saying, when you're coming to the end of the year and you're thinking about your charitable donations, consider think about
Yeah.
the library, and we could put in a couple of bullet points. That would be the same bullet points we'd be writing on these little postcards. And that'll hit the residents, but the ones to the patrons will really be handwritten by the board. People think they could do, I mean, we could do that, right? We could just have
We
a,
can do it.
I
Yeah,
could
we
have
definitely do
a
it.
wine and cheese postcard evening at the
I
library.
write, except
Yeah.
for you,
There
you
you
don't
go.
write for me, just
There you
saying.
go, yeah. Wait, so how many patrons are there?
612.
You tease me.
I
Okay,
can see
so
your name.
divided
You can
into-
put an X.
It- I can't, yeah, like maybe 600.
Just give it
Yeah,
your best
you put
shot, your friend.
612, 600.
Oh, that's, yeah. That's, yeah, well, I'm just saying that I signed all of those, the other ones for the food shelf, I signed them all alone, if we divvied it all out.
It's a
into
hundred
the addresses,
per person. And like I said, we need to come up with the 3 or 4 bullet points we might put on them, like you had on those campaign things.
Mhm, mhm.
And I don't know what those would be. That's the hard part. Is coming up with what those.
You can do it.
Well, we can workshop that, right?
We have to workshop that, but I think we just get together and divvy them up and get the addresses and off we go.
Okay, so the workshopping of it. Then, is that something that? That's not an open meeting law problem, is it? If we're workshopping a specific thing, we can
Just
make
together.
emails fly back and forth, right?
I think if we're just talking about our appeal letter.
Yeah, I don't think that would be a
It's not
problem. That's
official
nothing that
business.
people have to know.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so it's already November sixth. Is this doable by next month?
Mhm.
It is?
If we want to, if our end game goal is to get it in the mail at the end of the first week of December and or the beginning of.
So a month from right now.
A month from right now. We could come up with our little bullet point wordsmithing by email, because that doesn't
Mhm.
have to.
Okay, so we don't have to meet for
We
that.
don't have
we
to
can just
meet for
email.
that, and we can sit down and pick a night, maybe after Thanksgiving, to sit at the library and read them, or if people can't be
Because
there,
you
take
can
them
print
home.
them?
Well,
you
we
print
can-
labels, address labels,
Maybe,
so if you can print address labels of our
I don't-
patrons,
maybe,
but we have to
maybe.
get the postcard designed, printed.
Yeah.
in time.
So
And
does
those,
this-
you send away to have those printed, you pay?
Yeah,
Okay, and is that usually a quick turnaround?
I think like a week or so. I mean,
Okay.
Canva's usually pretty quick.
Okay,
And then we can design the postcard on Canva,
Yeah,
so.
well, yeah, that's what we would
So
do.
everything gets done on Canva, including the address labels.
maybe.
I'd have to look at that. I don't
Is
know.
this overwhelming though? I mean,
Yes,
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I would
Yes,
say I
it
think
is.
this
It is.
I'm feeling
Yeah.
like maybe we should start this for next year.
That's what I'm thinking too.
You know, it's a great idea, but it's already,
And I'm gone
November
from the 20th
6th.
to the 30th.
What's that?
or if it's just a letter and we do the direct mailing to everyone in town, that seems easier.
I think we're gonna get.
I don't
that. I
know.
think if we're gonna do anything, we have to include all of our patrons. I think those summer residents who come in here and use the library, those are the people that are gonna give us.
Yeah,
So let's take our time and think
Let's do it
about
there.
this.
and do it.
Because,
Yeah.
you know, we're doing a good job of increasing our revenue with having the book, the.
The book barn.
It's already been named, not
The barn.
But I think at this point, you know, with Thanksgiving coming up and
Yes.
Christmas and all this sort of
It's
stuff
too much.
and.
Yeah.
Why make everything overwhelming at the moment? But we should do it. You're right. We should
It's a
look
great
at the
idea.
strategic plan. We should have an annual appeal letter and we'll get it done, but.
Well, and if we come up with the bullet point things, I mean, that can go in the newsletter, that can go in Front Porch Forum to at least start
Remind
it
people.
Yes,
with less of the labor.
Yeah,
that's
behind it.
getting,
Yeah.
that's a start. That's,
Yeah.
I like the
we could do
idea of
that,
just having something in the newsletter.
right?
Yeah.
All right, well then let's think about what those bullet points would be. Just 3 or 4 bullet points.
and that we
for-
can kick around on email back and
Correct.
forth. Yeah, good. Anything more about the appeal? How about the CD update?
That was.
Oh, I actually did that
that.
when,
Yeah. okay.
Financial
when I did
report.
the report.
And the same thing with the budget change for Comcast.
Comcast increased budget change, that's already been covered.
Yep.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay, so anything else? Yes.
When we discussed Caroline's goals, we didn't talk about the assistant librarian, or the assistant director. And I noticed on the thing,
That's gonna be
That's. for
executive.
session.
you're right.
Yeah. Mhm.
Thank you.
So, could we
Make a vote,
make a motion to move to go into executive session?
Yes. And
Are you
Um,
making the, okay,
I'll second.
okay, Angie, you made the motion? Helen, you
Second.
seconded it?
I'm sorry.
We're all in favor of going into executive session?
yes.
Okay,
Okay, I just have to figure out how to get this to stop recording.
If it was me.
Okay, so I won't be there, so I will follow up with you later.
Okay,
Better. Take care of yourself.
Yeah,
yeah, do
Okay,
it.
thank you. Bye-bye.
Get some for,
Wait, am I gonna be there?
yes.